Hello and welcome to a League video here on ModernNexus.com. My name is Ryland, also known as holyshamgar on Twitch, and today we're going to be playing a Saheeli Eldritch Evolution combo deck in Modern. So essentially what this deck is trying to accomplish, certainly we do have the Saheeli Felidar Guardian combo. Many of you may be familiar with that from the terror it caused in Standard, but for anyone who is unfamiliar, Saheeli allows you to make a token copy of a creature or artifact you control with its -2. So you -2 targeting your Felidar Guardian, and once you get that token copy, blink your Saheeli with the new, effectively new Saheeli, do it again, and continue, and of course, until you have as many Felidar Guardian tokens as you like to make, and certainly attack your opponent for lethal at that point. So we certainly have that combo in our deck. On top of that, we have a largely fair value game plan. And the reason that the deck is built this way is to try and generate value off of Saheeli and Felidar Guardian, even when you aren't using them together. So we have things like Oath of Nissa, which is certainly very powerful with Felidar Guardian, or things like Renegade Rallier, which is good with both Felidar Guardian, Saheeli, Kitchen Finks, Eternal Witness, Wall of Omens, Thragtusk, even something like Sun Titan. All these things can be incredibly powerful with both Felidar Guardian and Saheeli, and can allow you to generate a lot of advantage. On top of that, to help us find Felidar Guardian or even some of our more interesting targets more consistently, we have Eldritch Evolution. So Eldritch Evolution will often be looking to find Felidar Guardian or Thragtusk or Sun Titan, but there's also like more fair Eldritch Evolutions you can go for that still give you quite a lot of value. Even if you only have something like a Voice of Resurgence and really nothing to do with the Felidar Guardian per se, you can like sack Voice Resurgence to Eldritch Evolution, get back Renegade Rallier, return your old voice, and get a 2/2, a 3/2, and effectively a 3/3 elemental for your trouble. So you can certainly get a lot of bodies on the ground that way as well. On top of that, our deck does have 6 mana dorks to help us accelerate into our game plan. Make sure we can not be too slow out of the gate setting up, since we do kind of need a lot of mana to be able to produce our combo in a reasonable time frame. Turn 2 Saheeli is also quite good against many decks. It'll be hard for people to pressure that early, and you can start ticking it up until you want to start getting value off of it as well. We also have 3 Path to Exiles just as a concession to creature decks that may have troublesome creatures, or even combo decks that have creature elements that are important to them, such as Storm. The one other thing that I haven't really mentioned yet that this deck is able to do is use Sun Titan as a backdoor combo with Saheeli. Now this typically only comes up in much longer games for 2 reasons. A, it requires 2 Saheeli, and B, obviously you're casting a 6 mana spell, right? So it certainly only comes up in the occasional later game, but that can come up against control decks or even mid-range decks. So basically how this combo works, for anyone who might be unfamiliar, if you have a Saheeli in play, or a Saheeli in the yard, or excuse me, and a Saheeli in the yard, or even 2 Saheeli in the yard, when you cast your Sun Titan, you can bring back one of those 2 Saheeli, make a copy of your Sun Titan, bringing back the other Saheeli, sack the old one, keep the new one, make a copy of Sun Titan, bring back the other Saheeli, sack the old one, keep the new one, and continue. You can basically make infinite Sun Titans. So that can certainly be a powerful backdoor combo that people are also a lot less aware of and a lot less ready for. And it can come out of the gates entirely with just the Sun Titan, considering that you could just have these in the yard and do that without even having anything on the board up until that point. So that's one of the big reasons we're playing Sun Titan, other than the incidental value it can give us just by, being a normal Sun Titan. Even just making, if you don't have 2 Saheeli, even just making a Sun Titan token with Saheeli is incredibly powerful. Obviously you get the trigger when it enters, and then the tokens of course have haste, so you attack with that Sun Titan and get another trigger as well. On top of that, we can take a little look at our sideboard here. We've got a 4th path for those creature matchups we just described, and then we kind of have a bullet package of creatures that are particularly important to us in particular matchups. So we got things like Gaddock Teague, Linvala, Eidolon of Rhetoric, Baloth for Burn, Magus of the Moon, Reclamation Sage, and even is it Staticast or Kataki, of course, as well. And then because we have this kind of package of 8 cards we're particularly interested in tutoring up, we even have the 4th evolution. So if we're siding in a bullet against a deck that matters quite a bit, we can also side in the 4th evolution to make sure we find it as much as possible. We also have 2 unified wills and a negate just for those combo and for those control decks. Unified will can be good against a variety of decks as well. It's a little more flexible, obviously, than something like a negate. And then lastly, we do have these 2 Rest in Peace. Now, Rest in Peace is certainly not good with our deck. It, in fact, disrupts quite a bit of what we're doing. It disrupts Voice of Resurgence, Sun Titan, Renegade Rallier, Kitchen Finks, Eternal Witness, even Scavenging Ooze to some extent, less, but some. So you might ask yourself, so why are we bothering to play this? Well, we have a huge, huge problem against graveyard decks. I just cannot seem to beat graveyard decks with this deck under pretty much any circumstance. So we're really going to need to bring them in anyway. It is quite a concession, obviously, considering how much it hampers our own deck. But we're really going to be only setting it in the matchups where it really, really matters, like Dredge, for example. And it's certainly by no means a guaranteed win against Dredge, but we really have nothing else we can do. I've tried things like Relic. I've tried Loaming Shaman. I'm even open to trying Tormod's Crypt because of what it does with Renegade Rallier and even Sun Titan, but none of those are really powerful enough to deal with the decks that I'm struggling against. So I think we're just going to have to suck it up and make that concession and play Rest in Peace. So that's how we got here. So the deck's been a lot of fun for me so far, and we've had kind of variant results on my stream. We started off doing particularly well, and then kind of just tapered off and stopped having good results for the remainder couple days of that week. So I don't know, we'll see. I certainly enjoy the deck quite a bit. I think there is a good shell there. This list might not be, well, this list certainly isn't perfect, right? There's definitely a lot of tuning that can go on, and there's some things we've omitted, like Lotus Cobra for some more explosive draws. You could even add like Tireless Trekker, Courser Crewfix, things like that. We were playing a Pia and Kieran Nalar for a while. We've omitted that as well. There's just a lot of options. So certainly there's a lot of ways you can build a deck. Oh, Reflector Mage is something I haven't mentioned that some people will add as well. But anyway, those are certainly options you could have if you were looking to play this deck forward. But we'll play with this list today and see how it goes.